Welcome back to this week's Bailey Built. Now, this is a different type of episode. Over the last several weeks, I've kind of looked for ways to be able to give back to our community. And one of the ways that I found to do that is through a group called Habitat for Humanity. Now, the group works to put people in homes by helping them volunteer, as well as having donations from around the community to be able to help. One of the ways they do that is through a group in a store called the ReStore, where they take in donations from all over the area of either construction grade items that people haven't used on a project or things that they just want to donate. They also have a fair amount of furniture there. And this week, I'm getting one of the pieces that came from a local ReStore, and we're going to go ahead and take it and kind of revitalize it and upcycle a little bit to show you what can be done with a piece there from the ReStore. We're also going to get a chance to donate this back to them. Here's how it's done. I started the project off with a trip to my local ReStore. There are several here in Central California. This one is located in Fresno. While browsing in the furniture section, I was directed to this cabinet. It sat along the wall there. Turns out it was actually a wine cabinet. Once I got the piece home, I started by removing the back. When removing nails from the board and the back, you'll want to be careful so that you don't damage or crack the back board. Once removed, I was able to get a better look at the condition of the actual wine rack area. Next, it was time to sand. With my respirator mask in place, I began hitting all sides of the cabinet. My sander is connected to a shop vac to reduce dust from the process. Usually, I like to smooth them out enough to remove the rough spots while still maintaining some of the character. After getting a general sanding done, it was time to remove the hardware. I began by carefully removing the decorative hardware on the door. They can be attached by several different types of fasteners. This set was actually attached with a set of small nails. Remember, it's a good idea to bag these pieces together so that you have everything when it's time to reassemble it. Next, I removed the screws from the door pulls. Now, it was time to head outdoors. After setting up my sawhorses and adding a large brace, I put a canvas paint cloth over the top and added the cabinet facing up. For this project, I'm using Rustoleum's Hammered paint and primer. I find that the hammered finish is my go-to when working with a piece that has some age. The textured finish will hide many of the imperfections that pieces have. In addition to wood, it also works on metal, plastic, and brick. When painting a piece of furniture, you want to apply it evenly. It's okay if you miss a few spots because you can always go back over it. Try to use long, even strokes for the best coverage. Now while that dries, I head over to the auxiliary table where I'm using Rustoleum's Bright Coat in a gold metallic finish. I find that these metallic sprays work great to revitalize the finish on drawer pulls and other hardware. Once the coat is dried, I flip them over and spray the opposite side. With the outside of the cabinet dry, I begin work on the inside. I coat each section of the wine rack until the entire rack is covered. For this project, I picked up a set of glass racks to make use of the open storage space at the bottom of the cabinet. You can find a set like these at your local home store or restaurant supply house. After marking the holes from the rack, I drilled them, then used the 90-degree drill bit to secure them in place. After installing one on the left side, I repeated it on the right. Upgrades like this are easy to do and a good way to spruce up vintage pieces. Next, it was time to sand again, this time using a higher grade sandpaper. The higher the number, the finer the paper. This helps to smooth out spots where paint may be a little thicker. It also gives the piece a more polished look. After wiping the piece down, it was ready for a finish coat. Now there are a lot of products that you can use to seal furniture. I like to use Rustoleum's Clear Coat. It goes on easy and dries clear, avoiding giving you that yellowish film that you can sometimes get from some products. After giving it a day to dry, it was time to reattach the hardware. I like to wear latex gloves when I'm doing this. It helps to avoid getting fingerprints on the piece. Now the piece is complete. Well, almost. Since I'm actually donating this piece back to the ReStore, I thought I would reach out to some friends for a little something extra. The Central Valley has a rich history in agriculture, including award-winning wines. All right, well, we finally got the whole wine cabinet complete. We did this whole project to bring some focus and attention to the Habitat for Humanity group and also the ReStores here around Central California. This item itself is actually going to go up for auction, so if you're interested in that, I'll add the link on how you can bid on that in the description below. This has been a fun project to work on. Of course, you can go there to a local ReStore in your area, grab a piece of furniture and upcycle it to make it work for you. They make fun DIY projects and they really help to empower your own community as well. So if you love this video, smash that like button and click on subscribe to stay up to date with the latest Bailey built projects here. For now, take care.